bush projects emerged quite organically, and it wasn't really established with any long-term vision. It was just about getting together with other graduates and testing some propositions about public space. And really from that point, I think of just having that experience of bringing something into the world and seeing how people respond to it was a bit addictive, and we then continued to where we are now. I think following from our conversation as well within our forum, that the cross-fertilisation really is perhaps symptomatic of a broader cultural shift as well in the way we work, and practices are becoming more contaminated by each other in a positive way, where there's, I guess, cross-pollination is a cliche that's used a lot, but
it's true.
It's true, and it's becoming so essential, where even in my experience of delivering projects, I need to consult the local ecologists of that area and cultural heritage groups. I can't gain all that knowledge as an individual, and working with artists as well. I guess this is something I also touched on in my talk, is as an artist, but also working with other artists that might approach the task quite differently to a landscape architect, where we can be quite constrained in the way we approach a problem, and very literal. And access becomes a pathway. Seating requires seats, chairs. You can sit on anything, really, and people do. And so we're very conservative in the form. As a student, we were hearing so much about public landscape, and I was frustrated because what I saw around me in the public landscape was very conservative, and I thought, what else is possible? And when a competition emerged within public art to have funds and permission to put something in public space, that was a really significant opportunity, we thought, to test ideas. Yeah, it only really lasted a week and a half because it was a bit over popular, and it was next door to a pub, and so people were coming to the work at night and treating it like this big bar, and they were lying and rolling all over it, and like it really made people a bit crazy, like a giant toy. And it ended up about, I don't know how many people it took, but they picked up the entire sculpture and put it on a tram stop, and that to me was the best ending possible. There's a real value in a temporary proposition in that it's much more likely to gain acceptance and traction, and there can be a much more radical response because of that reduction in risk, because if it goes wrong, it'll be ending anyway, and people are willing to embrace something that they know is a temporary idea rather than a permanent situation. So opening up the field in that way, I think the temporary offers so much for testing bolder ideas about landscape architecture. Rambunctious, challenging, and open-ended. Hopefully this generates further conversation.